What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be doing the disassembly and maintenance of the Miguron Keryx budget. Let's get into it. All right, so this is actually going to be take two. I originally started this video a couple of days ago, and for some reason, the pivot would not back off. I had a fresh bit. I tried heating it up. I tried tapping on it to see if it would break loose, and it got to the point where I couldn't get it to move, and it started to strip out. So I ended up just returning it and, replacing it as opposed to returning it. And I tested this one as soon as it came in. This one came apart, no issues. Again, this is a brand new bit. I pulled another one out here as well. I do recommend WeHa bits. I'm telling you guys, they're going to really save you from potentially stripping something when it has shallow tooling like what's in this pivot. Let's go ahead and jump into this again. I got all the way up to the pivot because I went the other way, but I've tested it, so we're good to go. And I'm really anxious just to break this down, clean it, kind of show you guys the inside of it. T8 all the way throughout. You do not need to remove your pocket clips, but I do want to show you they are T8. So I do love that Miguron is doing that. I think it's a fluke. I've had a bunch of Migurons, honestly, y'all, and I've never had that happen. So I'm not quite sure what was going on. I'm just going to discount it as a fluke, especially because when they sent this replacement, it was still sealed like it had been QC'd from the factory and no issues whatsoever with it. Again, I did test this pivot. I loosened it just to make sure I was good to go and no issues. So T8, get your 3 pieces of hardware out of here. It is a separate collar here that may fall out. If it does, just set it aside or put it back. Dealer's choice there. Let's get this completely taken apart. I do love that Miguron, even though this is the budget lineup, is giving you caged ceramic bearings. I think it really helps with the smoothness of the action. So let's go ahead, take the blade apart. You don't have to make any special notes about the bearings because they are caged. It's not going to matter if it's one side or the other or one way or the other. I'm going to leave the oil that they put in from the factory on the G10, but I am going to go ahead and just wipe everything else down while I'm in here. Oh, there goes the stop pin. I was trying to get the and the back spacer, trying to get the pivot off. There we go. I'm sorry, the bearings off the pivot, not everything else. So let me go ahead and stick that back on those. With everything out, this is a captive pivot, and I do love the way that they do their system. I'm just going to wipe it all down because I prefer to put my own fresh lube on there. And yeah, it's a little dirty. It's not awful. You're probably going to see all this clean up. Stop pin doesn't really matter, but since it fell out, I'm just going to go ahead and clean that as well. My OCD kicking in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean this one. These are the skinnier pivots. I think they are 5mm 3/64. So if you want to get skiffs for this, you can. You can see how much shinier they are now. Let me bring it up to the camera as opposed to zooming out. If you want, you can put skiffs on here, but in my opinion, with the cage bearings already being on the knife, it's not really necessary. But I like that they do it this way because they are quality bearings, and I have found that it's usually not an issue, or I never really run into any issues. I'm doing this though to clean it off to make sure that the lock bar engagement back here has fresh contact, that there's no oil touching. Same here. Now I do think that my lock bar is a little lightly tuned, so kind of looking at it, I need something that I can really use to gauge off of here how far it is away. So looks like I am not going to be able to tell that way. Let me just use the ruler. I always feel like the ruler is the best way to tell. I'm going to use it right there. So I'm right at where the inch marker starts to count on here. So I think I'm going to take it, I'm right under it. I'm going to try to bend it over to get it right above or right at, either or. Oop, the magnet's sticking to my ruler here. So not quite right at it. I'm still a little under it, so this is a very strong lock bar, so I'm just going to gently work it over a little bit more as I get more crud on my fingers. All right, let's see where we're at now. Okay, so now I'm right on the line, and that truthfully is probably the best way to go about checking all of that. But this thing is really grimy, so I'm going to grab my screwdriver again. I'm just going to wrap the screwdriver here. I'm just going to try to clean down in there. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought. It must be in here. Yeah, it's in between. So just cleaning it. I don't know. This is probably overkill. And truthfully, you probably don't need to take it this far. But I'm in here, so I'm just going to clean it all off. And you can probably use your bit, to be honest. Just clean it all off and use my own lube. Can't remember if I hit that other bearing. So let me just clean that again, probably. Yeah, it was clean. I already cleaned it. So that's everything. What I would recommend also, I mean, while you're here, especially since we're trying to adjust the tuning of it, I have another pack of these, but I probably should go ahead and order some more. These are like circuit board cleaning Q-tips. I like these because they're pointy, so they let you get into like the detent ball hole and everything. It doesn't look super dirty, but just to hit it, I'm going to go ahead while I'm here, give it a real thorough cleaning. Make sure that it comes out clean. So it has a little hint of dirt on there. It really, truth be told, is not much. You might see the brown, and I'm not quite sure. Yeah, got that really good. Go ahead and clean in here as well. Yeah, didn't really pull much out at all. Pretty clean outside of like the break-in that you guys were seeing there. So grab your favorite lube. I don't judge on my channel, whatever you like. I use Hops gun oil. Needless to say, if I trust it on a firearm, 100% going to trust it on my bearings for my pocket knife, my folding knife. So these feel really good. No surprise, because they felt really nice on the knife even before the cleaning. I know what I forgot to do. I like to just take a drip there and then just work it in. I don't like to have excess oil on my pivot because what it tends to do is just leak out on the micarta, and it kind of looks funny to me personally when you have like one black blotchy spot. I swear, English words are hard. I like to do that just because it makes it look more even across there. And then if it breaks in, it breaks in. No big deal. That's a little bit too much there. So I'm just going to dab my finger on it. And the reason I don't like a lot in front of the detent ball hole, I just don't want it to get on the lock bar interface. If it does, dust, pocket lint, and stuff like that can cake up on any oil. And then what it's going to do is the tolerances are so tight, it could create like a stickiness, which is more commonly known as lock stick. So that's one of the reasons that I do that. And I'm just going to reapply a fresh dip there. Yeah, there we go. So that's about what I normally like on there. So I think that is everything. I'm just going to cap this so it doesn't keep trying to leak. As far as, you know, what I would want to clean and what I'd want to do, if you're doing your skiffs, it's just going to be the same reinstallation. Okay, it's wearing in track marks on the steel liners. And I had someone ask me, like, as far as when you see steel liners like that, is that okay? I would imagine that the steel that they're using for these liners are pretty hard to where you wouldn't have to worry about it wearing it out. But they do offer some sort of warranty. So if you know, I guess got to that point where you fidgeted with it enough or opened it and closed it enough to where that became an issue, you could reach out to Miguron about that. Okay, that is definitely over tightened. So I backed it off a little bit, and I'm sure they'll take care of you. But it is a budget knife, and you know, I personally have never had any issues with any steel liners where the bearing's riding directly on it. They seem to hold up very well. So I imagine it's got to be like a hardened piece of steel that they're using for the liners to help keep it strong and keep everything centered. So I've snugged everything up. I'm just going to check for centering and for play. All right, so I'm coming in dead center as I move the whole knife around. And let's see if I have any blade play. A little bit of blade play. So actually I could go a little bit further. I think I backed it out too far. A little bit of blade play still. Okay. Apparently I backed it out way too far. Let me go tight and then back it out a little bit again. I think I'm still too tight. Yeah, I'm still too tight. All right, let's see. I went a little ways that time. No play. All right, I'm getting close. Still centered. All right. It was like, it felt like it moved like less than a quarter. No play. Still a little tight. The action feels a little restricted. Resistance. Sorry, I was concentrating. All right, just a little hint of play, so I've gone back out too far again. Let's see here. A little bit there still. I'm doing small turns, but trying to go as quick as I can for the video. A little bit of play still. Okay, well now it doesn't want to move freely. Okay, locked up. Feels good there. Doesn't want to disengage easily, so I probably need to come back just a skosh. Okay, that felt like a little bit. No play. Disengaging easily. Wants to drop soon as I touch the lock bar. Yep, nice and snug. There's no play. Everything feels nice and smooth. Very muted action. I'm not feeling any of the bearings rolling around in there on the close. Everything feels really nice, guys. So there you go. There's your disassembly and maintenance of the Miguron Keryx. I really like this knife. This model is great whether you're getting the budget or the premium version. Personally, for me, I think this is excellent value. You're getting for less than 60 bucks, 14C 28N. You're getting micarta scales and you're getting titanium pocket clip. Steel hardware and steel liners, but that's pretty much par for the course in this price range. I really like it. Hope this disassembly helped you. The review will come out before the disassembly, but I'm actually doing the disassembly before the review. I just want to spend a little bit more time with it, do some cutting and stuff like that, but I really think it is going to be, or will have done well, I think. Shout out to everyone out there that likes, uses those links, comments, and is subscribed. All of it helps the channel, and I am grateful and appreciate all the support. Shout out to my channel members. Thank you for being a member. I really do appreciate it. I hope all of you have a fantastic week, guys. Until next time, peace.